Great. So welcome back to this channel. It's always a pleasure to have you. Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we are looking at all the eight stadiums that will be hosting the World Cup 2022. Fantastic stadium, beautiful edifices that you would want to see. Please do want to subscribe to the channel, like this video and share the video. In-depth updates and exclusive analysis here. Let's stay with us, subscribe to the channel, like this video and share the video. Now 8 stadiums are expected to host this particular tournament, and they are roughly separated by an hour's drive and 43 miles at most. 7 of the 8 venues have been built from scratch for the tournament, with the other one also extensively redeveloped. 6 of the stadiums will have about half of their seats taken up after us, that is after the World Cup, and sent to developing countries, while a 7th will be dismantled because Qatar don't need those stadiums. They built it because of the World Cup. Only one will be the home ground for a football team after all. So organizers say that the stadiums were built with environmental practices in mind, with all earning 4 or 5 stars from the Global Sustainability Assessment System. The initial budget to build the stadium and training sites were 4.7 billion pounds. Now, all 8 stadiums will be powered by a solar panel farm and have detailed cooling systems, including outdoor air conditioning in some of the stadiums. Now, the first stadium to look at is the Lucille Stadium, built in 2022. Organizers say the stadium design pays homage to the fauna, lantern, and traditional handcrafted bowls and vessels used throughout the Middle East. The capacity of the stadium is 80,000 capacity. It will be hosting 10 games, including a final. So the final of the 2022 World Cup will be played at the Lucille Stadium. Now, it is located at Lucille, 15 kilometers north of Doha. This is the Qatar's World Cup flagship stadium, which has only been opened this year, 2022. Yes. Lucille will be at the center of a new 33 billion city of the same name, which could be home to 200 people. At the end of the World Cup, most of the seats will be removed because Lucille will not need its own stadium after 2022 World Cup. It tells you the caliber of Qatar and all of that. They don't need a stadium. The second stadium to look at is Al Bayat Stadium. Al Bayat Stadium. Anyhow you pronounce it. It's 2020. It was it was built in 2021. Capacity is 60,000. It will host 8 games, including the opening match. So the opening match will also be played in the Al Bayat Stadium. Location is Alkhor. Of course, I hope I got it. Alkhor. Yes, it is 35 kilometers north of Doha. So the stadium is covered by a huge tent-like structure and takes its name from the Bayat al-Shah tent used by nomadic people in the region. The tent and retractable roof will help cool the stadium. You know, Qatar, during the time the World Cup will be played, would have serious sunshine. All right, yes, they will be in the summer and all of that, and so the heat will be there. So the stadium should be a cooling one and all of that. The upper tier of seats will be removed from the Al Bayat Stadium after the World Cup, taking capacity to below 32,000. So they will remove about 28,000. Yes, they will remove about 28,000 of the seats and give it to developing nations after the 2022 World Cup. Some very interesting revelation there. A 5-star hotel and shopping center will be opened in this particular stadium, Al Bayat Stadium. Now, the next stadium is, of course, yes, the Al Bayat Stadium. Before we look at the next stadium, is fattest stadium from Doha, although still only 40 minutes drive away. So the Al Bayat Stadium is actually the farthest from Doha, and it is only 45 minutes away. 45 minutes away. So it tells you how close the stadiums are to Doha. Now, the next stadium is Stadium 974, built in 2021, is the international dialing code for Qatar and the number of shipping containers used. The capacity is 40,000. It will host 7 games up to the last 16. Location is in Doha itself. Even by Qatar 2022 standard, this is a remarkable stadium. It has been built from 972 shipping containers, hence the name and the modular steel. So that is the reason why it is called 972 Stadium. It was built from 972 shipping containers. It was previously called Ras Abu Abud Stadium. Yes, I hope I'm getting the names right. Yes, and so at the end of the World Cup, it will also be completely dismantled, with the parts being used for other projects. The site will become waterfront development. All the stadium will be completely dismantled. Can you imagine? My goodness, Qatar get money. So at the end of the World Cup, Stadium 974 will be completely dismantled by Qatar. They don't need stadiums. The next stadium is the Khalifa International Stadium. It is the only of the 8 venues that existed before Qatar won the right to host the World Cup. That is before 2010. The capacity is 45,416. It will host 8 games, including the 3rd playoff game. It is located in Doha. The only World Cup stadium that existed a few years ago is the Khalifa International Stadium, which was built in 1976 and extensively developed in 2017. It hosted a World Athletics Championship and FIFA Club World Cup final, which Liverpool won both in 2019. The Khalifa is the only World Cup stadium not being partially or fully dismantled after us, because they didn't build it because of the World Cup. All right. Yes, the next stadium is the Education City Stadium, built in 2022. It is situated in the middle of several universities. And so yes, as a Qatar will be nice. So several universities, so you are going to enjoy the universities in Qatar and all of that. Yes, and so it will host up to 8 games up to the quarter finals. Yes, located at Al Rayyan, 7 kilometers west of Doha. The Education City Stadium is located in the middle of several Qatari universities in green space just outside Doha. It is known as the Diamond in the Desert, as it has an advanced cooling system. So the Diamond in the Desert, so it means that it has a lot of cooling systems and all of that. It was the 2021 FIFA World Cup final and sees its capacity halved after the World Cup. So after the World Cup, they will dismantle half of the capacity. Now let's look at the Al Tumama Stadium. Al Tumama Stadium was built in 2021. Al Tumama Stadium's design is based on Gafaya. Yes, a traditional Middle Eastern cup. Its capacity is 40,000. It will host up to 8 games up to the quarterfinals, 12 kilometers south of Doha. Another stadium where the capacity will drop to 20,000. Half of it will be dismantled after the World Cup. And the hostel and mosque opening. Yes, named after a native tree. Its design is based on the Gafaya and Arabic huts I told you earlier. Now let's look at the next stadium, Al Janoub Stadium 2019. The capacity is 40,000. It will host up to 7 games to the last 16. Located at Al Rakra, that is 18 kilometers south of Doha. The first new World Cup stadium to be completed back in May 2019. It hosted the 2020 Asian Champions League final. The design is based on the sails of Doha boats. The stadium has a cooling system, so it can be used all year like most of the other stadiums. 20,000 seats will be removed after us. So this is the stadium that a lot of people are very interested in, because it looks like something. I don't know what it looks like, but that's the Al Janoub Stadium. Yes, it's a nice stadium. Also, 20,000 of the capacity will be dismantled after the World Cup. So that is that. Let's continue, and we end at the Ahmed Bin Ali Stadium. The Ahmed Bin Ali Stadium is located at the edge of the desert. Capacity is also 40,000. To host 7 games up to the last 16. Al Rayyan, it is located at Al Rayyan, 20 kilometers west of Doha. So this stadium was built on the site of an old ground with the same name, with over 80% of the construction materials used or recycled, including from the initial ground. Its glowing facade is comprised of patterns that characterize different aspects of the country. It will host our Ryan Sports Club with 20,000 capacity after the tournament. So this is all the 8 stadiums to host the 2020 World Cup, the stories about them, the facts about them, and all of that. Qatar don't need the stadiums after the World Cup, and so that's why they will dismantle 7 of them. Either they will break all of them down, or they will take half of them. So thank you very much for staying with us. Please do want to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and stay with us for a lot more fantastic research based videos and all of that. Thank you very much for staying with us. Bye bye.